This week I went on an adventure which honestly I thought I would fail. I set out on a massive and seemingly impossible hike through the mountains of Washington. My goal was to get here, a tiny cabin perched on top of a massive cliff overlooking a volcano. I think the most that I learnt is that failure is a tool for learning, to never fear letting yourself down and to always be open for adventure.
So I am attempting, and the key word is attempting, to climb up to a fire lookout. And I don't know, I think it's way up there. That's Mount Baker, which is pretty cool. The volcano like at home. But I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do it. It's a massive hike, and I've heard different things from different people. Some people are saying that it's fine, and some people say there's too much snow, and I am not used to snow. So I don't know. I guess I'll see how I go. Also, I'm very underprepared. Like, this is actually just my camera bag that's full of camping gear. And I don't know. I've never really done an overnight hike like this, at least not on my own. Definitely not in America. So I'm just hoping it'll go okay. If not, I'll just turn around. I'll just turn around when it gets too snowy.
I was told that to do this hike I needed bear spray, and honestly I'm used to snakes, but I have no idea about the difference between bear breeds, how to interact with them, or what to do if you encounter one. This was another reason this hike scared me so much. I only brought a little water and was terrified when I ran out, but quickly found snowmelt to filter and refilled my bottle.
Oh my gosh, I am so tired. So I hiked from somewhere over there, and I think that is Mount Baker, which is suddenly looking smaller than it was before because I'm getting higher up. And then finally there are views of the fire lookout that I'm trying to get to, which I'm so excited about. It means that maybe I will make it, I don't know. This is where it gets dodgy. Some people told me that they fell through the ice, so I'm a bit scared. I think I'll be right. It's getting closer.
I was so sure that I wouldn't make this hike, and there have been times in my past that this fear would have broken me. It's so easy to be caught up in the idea of failure and to not even attempt things to avoid letting yourself down. I've been trying to be more open with myself, to admit that I might fail, that it will be hard, that nothing is perfect and most things are messy. And I think that this admittance to myself has changed the way that I can approach things. And in the end, after being so sure that I would fail, but being okay with that, I actually made it. So this tiny cabin is a fire lookout, and it was built in 1932. It is the most beautiful place that I have ever been, surrounded by mountains, volcanoes, and snowy forests. I don't know if it's because I didn't expect to make it the whole way, but being up here I was so in shock the whole time. My face hurt because I hadn't stopped smiling the whole time I'd been up here. There were a few moments that I found myself crying, from the beauty, from the feeling of wind in my hair, and from the achievement of getting to this place. So this lookout is 5,450 feet, or about 1,700 meters. On the hike up, the elevation gain was 2,000 feet, or 600 meters. Before I hiked, I didn't really understand what that meant, but being so high, I quickly found that breathing was harder and I got out of breath so easily. I've always believed that we live in the mountains in Australia, but after this, our mountains feel much more like hills. I saw an avalanche, which for an Australian girl who has not really seen much snow before was pretty terrifying, but also so cool. I cannot believe it. I set out on this hike really thinking it was something that I wouldn't be able to achieve and sort of accepting that I would fail, but I made it, which is just so crazy to me. And now I am looking out to my Mount Baker behind me, out to the most beautiful views, and then I'm sleeping tonight in a fire cabin with views of all of Washington everywhere. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I've never felt like this. I've never felt so tired, but I've never felt so proud. It's really amazing. Obviously, there isn't a lot to do up on top of a mountain, but it's a beautiful feeling to experience boredom again. I think that in a modern life, we are always too busy, always engaged by something. To waste time is something that we all look down on, like we should spend every second working towards some goal. But honestly, I think it's so important to just do nothing sometimes, to let our bodies sit still and our minds rest. So I thought I'd take you on a little tour of this special tiny home. Eastwards is where I hiked from. Views of faraway mountains remind me of how far I've come. Then there are views of Mount Baker or Kulshan, a massive 3,200 meter active volcano. Then there's this beautiful valley where the sun sets slowly. One of my favourite views to watch the slowly changing day. The 360-degree deck means that the views extend in every direction. There is a local hiking group of volunteers who keep the cabin accessible and save it from degrading. This is the most incredible thing that I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Not to be dramatic, but this sunset was the most meaningful sunset that I have ever watched. It brought me to tears multiple times. Watching the light slowly fade from each mountaintop as I settle into my cozy bed, this is an experience that I will treasure my whole life.
This is the most beautiful moment.
The sounds of avalanches even woke me in the night, which was pretty amazing, but yeah, pretty scary. The sun rose only a few hours later, really. The sun set at almost 10 p.m. and rose again at 5 a.m. Luckily, I've been camping and sleeping for almost 11 hours each night, so I have plenty of sleep up my sleeve. Sadly, it's time to pack up and walk back down. If I could, I'd stay here for weeks. On the way back down, I heard an American pika, which is the cute animal that Pikachu is based off. I met a new friend and we hiked down the mountain together, back across all the snowfields. That was the hardest thing that I have ever done in my whole life, but wow, I just feel so amazing. I think it's also the most rewarding thing that I've ever done in my life, and I guess I'm just realizing a lot from it. I think that I should challenge myself more. I think that it's fun to try new adventures that I might not be capable of and I might fail. And there's just part of that that's so incredible, especially when you do make it. I guess I'm realizing as well that the beautiful things in life are a challenge, and it was a very, very, very hard walk to get there. And a lot of it, I was thinking, why am I doing this? But at the top, that sunset, I have never seen anything like that. I keep crying just thinking about it. It was so incredible, so moving. I've never felt like that before. So I guess that some of the most beautiful things in life are a challenge to get to. I'm just really proud of myself because I think there's been a lot of times in my life that I wouldn't have even attempted that walk because I would have thought, it's not possible, Anastasia. You won't make it. It's too hard. And I was close to that. I really thought when I was driving up the dodgy road to the walk that was potholes everywhere and everyone had told me that it was practically impossible and there was too much snow, I was thinking, what are you doing? You should just turn around. You should just go camp somewhere else. I don't know, just go do something. But I'm realizing how much I was wrong and that it's okay to try things if they are scary and if they might be impossible. That's okay. That's okay to fail. But now I'm very sleepy. I think I'm gonna go to sleep for like 48 hours. I'm so tired. But tomorrow I've got something very exciting happening and I'm gonna meet with two people who I think you'll be very excited about too. So join in next week for more adventures in the US. The music in this video is by Land of Trees. You can find their links in our description. And the drone footage in this video is filmed by Luke, who I met on top of the mountain. You can find his links in our description too. Thanks so much to our patrons for your support. We are so grateful.